Welcome back to coding challenge number 1. So you can find this question and this from the GitHub files. You can just download the files in that functions final file. You can just find this question and then this. So let's just dive into our question here. So let's build a simple poll app, okay, for this. So a poll has a question and an array of options from which people can choose, and an array with the number of replies for each option. The data is stored in the starter object below. So here are your tasks. So in the first one, create a method called register new answer on the poll object. So the poll object, which is basically is this, okay. The method does two things. So in the one, display a prompt window for the user to input number of selected options. The prompt should look like this. Okay, done. Now we'll do it. And based on the input number, update the answer array. For example, if the option is 3, the increase the array value at position 3 of the array by 1. Make sure to check if the input is a number, and if the number makes sense. Example, answer is 52 won't make sense, right? So okay, we'll do that as well. And call this method wherever the user clicks the answer. So call this method whenever the user clicks the answer poll button. Okay, done. uh, Click create a method display results, which displays the poll results. The method takes a string as an input called types, which can either be strings or arrays. If the type is array, simply display the result as it is using the console.log. Then this should be the default option. If the type is string, display a string like all results are 13 to 41. Okay, we'll do that as well. And run the display results method at the end of each of register new answer method call. Hint, you use many of the tools you learned in the last session. Bonus, use the display results using the method to display the two arrays in the test data. Use both the array and the string options. Do not put the array in the poll object. So what should this keyword should look like in this situation? The bonus test data. And don't worry about this answer new array file and fill of zero. You'll find it in the so don't worry about this. You will learn about this in the next coming sessions. Okay, so let's just start writing our code here, which is the first one in the object we'll write. So here we are setting it to register new answer. So in here we'll just declare constant answer. We'll set this to prompt, right? We want the prompt. So in the prompt we'll just say, so question this question, and then here we'll just say the next line, because we want our prompt when it is displayed, we want in this pattern as well, right? So we don't want it in the continuous line, so we are just declaring in the next line. Okay, and then here we declare this dot options dot join. Here we'll just say again space we need, right? And also after this we need space. Okay, and here we'll write option number. So we'll just simply console log answer here now. So when we do that, and also we need our input to be with the number, right? Number of, and then here we'll just close our tab. So outside here we'll just test poll dot register answer of. See here, now we got our prompt here right now. As you can see here, which we got same as it was. Okay. So for example, let's just say here 3. Okay, 3 was just loading here. And let me just turn this here off, and then now here we'll just say register answer, because we are doing this now. Okay, so here what we did here was get answer, and then now we are registering the answer here, right? So here we'll just say we need what is the type of, right? If it is the type of number only, we need our answer, right? So here the type of answer, it should be number set to. Okay, and here we are using the AND operator here, and then answer, it should be less than this dot answers dot length AND operator, and this dot answers of answer, this plus. So here we just say console dot log this dot answers. So when we simply reload. So what we did here was here we are just using the this condition, and if it gets true only, then it passes to this next statement and then to the last statement. So if anywhere it gets failed, so it immediately short circuits and it gets executed, it returns the output. So it's look like short circuiting right now. And then moving on, let's just call this method whenever the user clicks the answer poll button. So for that we need to add the add event listener, and before that here we need to add document dot query selector of, and here this we'll just inspect. So when we inspect this, as you can see here, this button class is the poll. So right now we want poll, right? So here we'll just say dot poll, and then here we'll use add event listener, click, comma, poll dot register new answer. Okay, so let's just check the output now. So when we click, see here we are getting the answer undefined reading the join, right? So error, we are trying to read the property join of undefined, because this keyword is point towards the this element. Okay, so this poll button. So again in the add event handler, right, function. So as this one, that this keyword will always point to this element here, right? So this button, which is the answer which is attached to right now, is this button answer poll. So to fix this we need to bind the keyword, and then in case we need to set this to poll object. So here we will just do poll register new answer dot, here we'll just say bind, we'll set to poll, and then when we run it, as you can see the output, see here 3, it is getting here the 3, and whenever we try to repeat the value 3, see, as you can see here, the last option we are just choosing, right? So it gets counted multiple times. So right now, in order to display these results, we should create the new method called display results. So it takes a string that is called the type with an array being the default here also. And this kind of string that we want is the question here, as you can see here. So we want the output to be this kind of string here, 13241, as you can see here, right? So we'll just do that. So here we'll write display results. Type we are setting, we want this to be an array, right? And then if type equals to array, then console.log this dot answers. Okay. Else if type equals to string, then console.log all results are this dot answers dot join. So here we are using comma and then space. Okay, and then okay here why we have written this line here is because, as you can see here, the output we want our output to be in this format. So for that we are just written here this statement. Okay, so all results are 13241. So in this way we want our output, so we have written this. So here we'll just simply just turn this off, console.log this dot answers, and then here we'll write this dot display results. So initially we are leaving this out none, and then again this dot display results of string here we are just using. And then when we run it, when we click the answer port and we write here, for example, 2. Okay, here as you can see here the poll results are you are getting, because here if the type is string, so here we are getting, as you can see here. And when we click it again, see, when we click the option 3, see the poll results are. So that's how we just do that. And also coming to the bonus challenge here, so here we need to add poll dot display results dot call, and then here we just require the answers, right? So here we'll just take from the question here, so the inputs, so initial input we are just taking here, and then we are pasting out here. Right now we are just giving our input value here, which is 523, and then we are just adding here the right to string. See here the polls results are 523. So what just happened here is, so how this works is this function here. Okay, else, so this function here, the else if it looks for this dot answers, but array is simple out here, but array is simply out here. So we need to make this dot answers equals to array, and that's why we use the call method. So we could manually set the keyword to a new object which has the answers property that has the new array. So we just did the same thing here by putting this call at this answers. So generally when you go to here this dot here it will go to this here the answers, but these were given by the user, but here we want the inbuilt 523 this to be here this answers. So by using the call method here we are just setting that here, and also we'll just copy this and replicate this, and we'll just put here the new array, and then when we run it, as you can see here the poll results. Okay, and also when we run it without string, as you can see here, you will simply get the array here. That's how, so with this, we are done with our challenge, as you can see. So that's it for this video.